World War II. A war of unimaginable scale. Over 70 million people dead. Entire cities turned to ash. And yet, despite all the documents, witnesses, and investigations, some parts of this war remain unsolved. Stories that don't make sense, events that were never explained, and secrets that may have been buried on purpose. Tonight, we go beyond the history books, into the shadows, into the unknown. These are the top 5 unsolved mysteries of World War II. 5. The disappearance of Flight 19. December 5, 1945. The war had ended just months earlier. But for 5 U.S. soldiers, Navy crews, the nightmare was far from over. At 2:10 p.m., 5 Avenger torpedo bombers took off from Florida on what should have been a simple training mission. The plan was easy: fly east, drop practice bombs, turn north, and then return home. But soon after takeoff, something went wrong. The leader, Lieutenant Charles Taylor, sent a message: "Both my compasses are out. I'm trying to find Fort Lauderdale." But he wasn't near Fort Lauderdale. He was lost, completely disoriented, over open ocean. Minutes turned into hours. Fuel was running out. The pilots grew more confused. Everything looked strange. Even the ocean doesn't look right. Then, silence. All 5 planes disappeared. No crash site, no bodies, no debris, nothing. And it gets worse. A rescue plane sent to find them also vanished. 14 more men, gone. Some say it was just bad navigation. Others believe they flew into something far more mysterious, a place where even today, planes and ships disappear without explanation. The lost Nazi gold train. As World War II came to an end, the Nazi regime was collapsing. But before they fell, they made sure their stolen treasures wouldn't be easily found. Gold from banks, art stolen from museums, valuables taken from millions of victims. All of it had to disappear. According to legend, in 1945, a heavily armored train left the city of Breslau, loaded with tons of gold and priceless artifacts. Its destination? Unknown. Some say it was hidden in underground tunnels in Poland, sealed behind walls, and protected by deadly traps. Then, the train vanished. For decades, people searched. Nothing. Until 2015, 2 treasure hunters claimed they had discovered it using ground radar. The world went crazy. Experts arrived. Excavations began. Everyone expected to uncover one of the greatest treasures in history. But when they dug, there was nothing. No train, no gold, just empty ground. So what happened? Was the train moved? Was the radar wrong? Or is it still there, hidden deeper than anyone expected? A fortune, possibly still buried, waiting in silence. The strange death of Heinrich Himmler. He was one of the most feared men in Nazi Germany. Head of the SS. Architect of terror. A man responsible for some of the darkest crimes in human history. When Germany surrendered, Himmler tried to escape. He disguised himself as a regular soldier. But he was caught, captured by British forces, interrogated. And then, something unexpected happened. During a medical examination, Himmler suddenly bit down on something hidden in his mouth. A cyanide capsule. Within seconds, he was dead. Case closed? Not exactly. Because many things don't add up. He had already been searched multiple times. Guards were trained to look for hidden poison. Yet somehow, he kept it. Even stranger, witnesses gave conflicting stories about his final moments. Some said it happened instantly. Others described a struggle. And then there's the biggest question. Did he really kill himself? Or was he silenced to prevent him from revealing secrets? Secrets that could have exposed powerful people, even after the war. The disappearance of Glenn Miller. In the middle of war, music became hope, and no one represented that hope more than Glenn Miller. His songs lifted the spirits of soldiers and civilians alike. But in December 1944, that voice of hope disappeared. Miller boarded a small plane in England, his destination, Paris. The weather was bad, cold, foggy, dangerous, but the flight was approved, and then the plane vanished. No distress call, no crash report, no wreckage, nothing. Over the years, theories began to emerge. Some said his plane crashed into the English Channel. Others claimed he was accidentally hit by bombs dropped by Allied aircraft returning from a mission. And some believed something even darker happened. A secret mission, a cover-up, a truth never meant to be known. To this day, one of the most famous musicians in history remains missing. The death of Adolf Hitler, April 1945. Berlin is surrounded. The Third Reich is collapsing. Inside a bunker beneath the city, Hitler prepares for the end. According to official reports, he took his own life. His body was burned, and later identified by Soviet forces. But from the very beginning, there were doubts. The Soviets gave contradictory statements. Some said he was dead, others suggested he might have escaped. No clear body was ever publicly shown, and that was enough for theories to grow. Did he escape through secret tunnels? Did he flee to Argentina? Did powerful networks help him disappear? Most historians agree he died in that bunker. But the lack of clear evidence and the chaos of the final days of the war left just enough uncertainty for the mystery to live on. History tells us what happened, but not always the full truth. Because in war, information is controlled, secrets are protected, and sometimes the truth is buried forever. These mysteries remind us of one thing. Even the biggest events in human history can still hide shadows we don't understand. If you want to uncover more hidden stories like this, subscribe to Dark Side of History. Because here, we don't just tell history, we reveal what history tried to hide.